Good afternoon, and I'm very sorry that the weather did not cooperate with us, but again, every lecture I have given with Ivy Tech under the program with commemorating Dr. Martin Luther King has been different and more challenging. First of all, I want to thank you because I thought I was talking to my assistant professor and advisor. I said, I don't think there will be more than 10 people. Who's going on in a day like today? So I am very thankful that you are here. And then I realized that I am being tested over and over again. Now, whoever is testing me up there, I have passed this test too. I want to just ask before I begin how much time I have, because I don't know how much detail I can get into.
Ask a question after.
Oh, okay. So my lecture is divided in 3 parts. Part 1, how I survived Auschwitz. Part 2, the lessons that I have learned. And we will have time for a few questions. It was the dawn of a spring day in 1944. When our cattle car train stopped, I could hear a lot of Germans yelling orders outside. As soon as we stepped down on a little cement platform, it was called a selection platform, my mother grabbed my twin sister and me, because we were her youngest. There were 4 girls in our family, and she thought that as long as she could hold on to us, that she could protect us. Everything was moving very fast. As I was standing on that selection platform, I was 10 years old, and in my childish curiosity, I looked around trying to figure out what that place was, and I suddenly realized that my father and my 2 older sisters disappeared in the crowd. I never ever saw them again. As we were holding on to my mother, a Nazi was yelling in German, twins, twins. We did not volunteer any information. He noticed Miriam and me because we were dressed alike and we looked alike. He approached us and demanded from my mother to know if we were twins. And my mother said, "Is that good?" And the Nazi said, "Yes." And my mother said, "Yes." Another Nazi came, pulled my mother in one direction. We were pulled in the opposite direction. We were crying. She was crying. All that took 30 minutes from the time we stepped down from the cattle car. Miriam and I no longer had a family. We were all alone, and we had no idea what would happen to us. We became part of a group of children, all twins, little girls from age 2 to age 16. In our transport, there were 13 sets of twins, and one mother was permitted to stay with her twins, and I have no idea how she succeeded. We were marched to a huge building, ordered to undress, our clothes were taken away, and we sat naked most of the day. Late in the afternoon, our clothes were returned with a huge red cross painted on the back. Our hair was cut short, and then we were lined up for registration and tattooing. When my turn came, I decided to fight back and give them as much trouble as a 10-year-old could. 4 people, 2 Nazis and 2 women prisoners, restrained me with all their strength, while they heated a gadget that looked like a writing pen with a needle at the end, and when it got hot, they dipped it into ink, and then they burned into my left eye the capital letter A-7063. My twin sister Miriam became capital A-7064. As you look at my number, you might think it has faded. The fact is that it always was like that. After all, I was not a very cooperating victim. My twin sister Miriam said that in addition to creating a general confusion, that I bit the Nazi who was holding my arm. I don't remember biting anyone. I am sure I was capable of it, but I was raised to be a nice girl. And as we know, nice girls and nice boys don't bite. So I must have blocked it out of my mind. I also want to add to that Auschwitz was the only Nazi camp that tattooed its image. Once we were processed, we were marched throughout the camp and we arrived at a barrack where there was a barrack of the twins. And inside it looked very crude and extremely filthy. In the middle was a brick bench. On each side of the brick bench there was a walkway and a 3-story high bunk beds that were covered with a thin straw mattress and a filthy blanket. I had never seen such a filthy place in my life. Miriam and I were given a bunk bed on the bottom, and we tried, we thought maybe we could just rest a little bit, but as I realized very fast, human beings cannot function after such a traumatic day. But as I was tossing and turning, I noticed something big and dark moving on the floor, and I began counting, and when I reached 5, I jumped up screaming, "Mice! Mice!" Coming from a farm in Transylvania, Romania, I have encountered many mice and I was always scared of them. A voice from the top bunk would said, "Stupid kid, these are not mice, they are rats. And you better get used to them because they are everywhere."